Bender Bunker. We've been offering up hot B-bender action mixed with country twang guitar since 2017. You know, December 2017 to be specific, and with this video dropping in December 2021, I'd be remiss not to take a moment to acknowledge and appreciate the 4-year anniversary of the Bender Bunker here on the YouTube platform. So cue the cheesy celebration graphic. Let's get that out of the way. Perfect. And I definitely want to take a moment to thank everyone, the home viewers, the home benders as I like to say, that have supported the channel in various different ways and allowed it to grow to where it is today 4 years later. Now, when I think back at the tail end of 2017, the genesis, the origin story, if you will, of this channel, I realize now it's a direct result of me having found myself in 2017 with a large, unexpected amount of free time. And contrary to the rumor mills, it was not related to home incarceration. It was more of a career change situation, a major career change. And I was a man in need of a new hobby back in 2017. I'd only been playing the Bender guitar for about a year at that point, and had already noticed a distinct lack of instructional Bender videos on YouTube. They seem to have everything else, but not a lot of instructional Bender videos. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna start putting some videos on YouTube so I can document my journey for myself, kind of an online journal of my progress as a Bender player. And if other Bender players get something from it, all the better. That's really the intent of the channel. And then to find myself 4 years later now on this anniversary with over 2,100 subscribers absolutely blows my mind. I did not see that coming. So thank you to everyone that supported the channel. I figured once family and friends got bored of the novelty of me putting guitar videos out, I'd be lucky to get to 100, because let's be honest, this is a niche situation here. B-bender guitar in the guitar world, very niche. So 2,100 blows my mind. And all the different ways the support has shown up with the very kind emails I've received, the kind and supportive comments under each video, which, by the way, those are very important, because as a guy who's been doing YouTube now for 4 years, and I think other YouTubers feel this way as well, sometimes it does feel like you're just playing into your phone and playing into a vacuum. So the comments are a great way to realize, okay, folks are seeing this. This is really being received out there in the real world. So thank you for that. Of course, all the thumbs up on each video, as I've been stressing a lot this year. Very important to keep the algorithms happy. As technology advances, we need happy algorithms. You'll see, trust me. All right, and then finally, last and not least by any stretch, the folks that have watched the content over the last couple of years and thought, you know what? Hey, Bunker, I appreciate what you do. I'm going to send you some money. Why don't you buy yourself a beer as a thank you? And that's what we call a virtual beer donation, and that's done through the PayPal account. Bender Bunker has its own. Just go to the details section below, expand that out. You'll see the Bender Bunker's PayPal account, our direct link, safe and secure way to send over a virtual beer donation if you're so inclined to do so. And then you'll see our Instagram link down there as well if you ever want to watch me drink said beer. It's the least I can do. So that's it. Here we are 4 years later, and I figured let's go out in style here. This will probably be the last video I put out for 2021 as we head into the holiday season and I start to travel. So this will probably be it. I wanted to just pack it full of the B-bender Blowout sale. All licks must go. A lot of twang, a lot of Bender action in this one, trying to fit in what I could in A, of course. All kinds of craziness going there. I'm going to try and cover all of it, concentrating mostly on the Bender parts. I did go a little bit nuts with the intro and the outro on some of the twang parts, and I'll get to some of those, but we're going to really concentrate on the Bender parts as you would expect. So let's finish this year in style. Again, thank you for 4 years. Let's see what year 5 brings. I don't know. I make it up as I go along, but as soon as I know, you'll know. And let's get going now with the B-bender Blowout sale. All licks must go. 4-year anniversary here at the Bender Bunker. All right, nice to have you on board for the year-end blowout. All licks must go. Definitely inspired and written during the craziness of Black Friday, Cyber Monday sales here in America. But I am happy to report there are no supply chain issues this year for B-bender licks. So we're in luck now. A lot of crazy twang stuff in the opening to get me warmed up. We'll maybe circle back to that, but let's concentrate on the main Bender sections, because this is the Bunker, of course. So we're going to go with this opening number in A. This whole thing's in A. All right, let's learn 4 positions to make that whole thing a little easier. And again, this being an A, we're going to start in the most basic Bender 101 position for A, which is your index finger on the 3rd string 2nd, and we're only going to be utilizing the top 3 strings for the sequence. So that leaves the B string open so we can use our Bender to complete that open A, right? Just the index finger on the 3rd string 2nd for that. So that's position 1. That's where the Bender goes up. We're then going to going to travel up here to position 2, which is the 2nd and 3rd string of the 7th shape for A. So that is G string 9th, B string 8th. When we get there, that's when the bender comes down. We take the bender back up here in the 3rd position, which is simply an octave mimicking of what we started with in open A. So instead of the 3rd string 2nd, I've got my ring finger. You could use ring or middle for the 14th on the 3rd, and then your index finger goes to B string 12th to mimic an open. What was open down there is now 12th because we're going an octave higher. That's going to take the bender up. And then for 4th position on that, we're going to allow our index finger to cover the 12th on the 2nd and 3rd to let the bender down. Those are the 4 positions we're going to be working all the fancy stuff out of. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, let's salt and pepper this entree, shall we? So we're going to learn this first. And to do that, we start in position 1 with our index finger, 3rd string, 12th. Now I'm going to show you how I wrote it. That is my thumb on the 3rd string and my index finger on the 2nd string. I've also used a pick for this, works just fine. Sounds like this. That's with a pick, so you go either way. I'm showing you how I wrote it. So I am going to start by hitting the 3rd string 2nd and the open B together to take the bender up. Hold it there for a second. And then I'm hitting the high E open for note. Now, the bender's still up, of course. I need to get to position 2. What I'm doing now after I hit that high E open is I'm allowing my middle finger to go on to the 3rd string, and I'm sliding it up to our target of the 3rd string 9th. When I get there, my index finger falls naturally into B string 8th behind it, 8th fret B string. And when I do that, then I can double stop them, the 3rd and 2nd string together on the 9, 8 frets to bring the bender down. So slowly, and you can either go 1, 2 on the notes on the 2nd or double stop them down, whatever floats your boat. All right, that's up to speed. Bender's down now, unengaged. So now we need to go up to our octave open A up here. We just came off of this. So what I'm doing is I'm changing over to my ring finger on the 3rd string, and I'm going up to the target of the 3rd string 14th, and then my index finger on the B string 12th. So I'm sliding up off position 2, bender's down. I'm sliding up to 3rd string 14th, and then when I get to the B string 12th, I'm taking the bender up. And then what I'm doing there is I'm doing the high E again for a quick note. Coming back to the B string 14th, kind of a half note, half dead, like that. And that allows my index finger to do position 4 I showed you earlier, which is bar the 2nd and 3rd and the 12th to let the bender down. So this is what we have. If I play it up to speed and with percussion in my picking, bender's down now, right? And we've got the index finger covering the top 3 on the 12th. It's going to work to our advantage because we're going to bend that B string 12th up, hold the bender, and do a 4-note run. Those 4 notes, with the 4th note being back to the B string 12th to let the bender down, is what you just heard. So I just did this. Bender's down. Now I'm going to go ahead and hit the B string 12th, take the bender up and hold it, and do a 4-note run. First note being the high E 15th with my little finger back to the B string 12th, still being bent. Then the little finger comes off so I can do high E 12th, already covered. And the 4th note is back to the B 12th to let the bender down. And when the bender down, I finishes with another note that is 3rd string 14th with my ring finger. Except when I do it at the speed, it sounds like this. Now with a pick, let's see if we can do that. Do it either way. So here we go, is what we know so far. Bender's down. We're gonna go ahead and hit the high E 12th, still being covered by our index finger. And then you can either hit the B string 12th in isolation or the B string with the third string next to it, still covered on the 14th, and double stop it up, or just take the B string up, but you're going up with the bender. So we go high E 12th, and then B string 12th. Bender up, hold it there. All right, that's that sequence. Now let's do exact same thing. Bender's down now. Instead of going to the 4-note sequence, now we do this. Which is using your bender to mimic a very standard shape for A. That's on the, we're using our 4th and 2nd strings together, and you'll recognize it instantly. This is without a bender. I'm using the bender to mimic that because I want to get a pre-bend in there, so when I get to the end of that, I can do the double. So we just came up. Now again, it's 4th and 2nd string together. 4th is always going to be, for this first part, 2 frets above it. So I'm on the 14th on the 4th and the 12th on the 2nd. So when I slide into this to get the sequence going, I start with the 4th string, and by the time I get to hit the 12th on the B string, again it's 4 and 2 strings, I want to pre-bend before I get there. So I don't want to hear that bend, all right? So it's already bent, right? So it's 14th and 12th. I'm going to walk that down. Now you've got your index finger on the bent B 10th. Leave it there. Going to go ahead and switch out to my middle finger there on the 4th string 11th. So now we've got that new shape. And then I'm going to hit them together, the 4th and 2nd string, twice, and let the bender down on the 2nd one. All right, the 2 together, and then we'll go on to the next part. All right, you practice that, get it nice and smooth, and this part's coming up next. Gonna be fun, get ready. All right, let's get into the second major bender part of this lesson. It's gonna be this. Easier than it looks. Let's do it. All right, so we're going to be kind of working off of the what we called position 2 at the opening. Remember that was the 9/8 position? That's the 7th shape for A for your bender. Well, I'm going to use the top string now along with the B string instead of that 3rd string. I'm going high E this time. So now I've got my ring finger on the high E 8th and my index down 1 on the B string 8th. Right? That 7th shape. So what I'm doing is, so I'm pre-bending, and I'm hitting that twice, letting the bender down on the 2nd one. Hopping down now with my index finger for the top 2 on the 5th, but I'm pre-bend, and I'm hitting that once to let it down. So here's what we got. You got to do a pretty quick pre-bend after this. Now all I'm doing again is that top 2 strings of the 7th shape, moving down here to a pre-bend of the top 2 of what would be an A bar chord, which works nicely with your bender as well. Bender's down now. Gonna go and capture what we did position 2 of the original part we just learned, which is the 3rd string 9th, B string 8th. We're still doing the same thing with our B string, but now we're using the 3rd string, and I'm gonna kind of slide into it, and then I'm gonna slide into it as I take, on the 3rd string I'm sliding, I'm gonna take the bender up and do a double stop like we just did. So we've got this. Still 2 and down on the 2nd one, but I'm sliding into it and making it a little bit more audio than, when we start here, it's right away. And then we go. So I'm sliding into it, double benders, second one comes down. And then we're doing this like we did here. We pre-bend, and now it's second string, 5th fret, 3rd string 6. We're still kind of working, mimicking that A bar chord. So it's B string 5th and 3rd string 6 in isolation. We hit that once and let it down. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, working off the 7th and the A bar chord shapes, just alternating this high E and the 3rd string. So here we go. Pre-bend. Slide into it. That's all that is. And I'm probably throwing in one more dead note in that sequence. You'll hear it there. All right, bender's down now, and now we're going to do this. Now let's forget about the bender. Let's get into some twang land here. We're going to do this, which sounds a little fancier than this. You might recognize it more as this. I'm going to use those shapes. We're just going to use it in more of a twang fashion. So we just did. Now we're going to take our ring finger, and on the 3rd and 2nd string, we're going to cover the 7th. Hit those two together, double stop them. Go down now, 3rd, 2nd string on the 5th. Once, but together. And then we do that one, we're going to roll up with our middle finger onto the G string 6 after we hit that once. So now you've got that going on. And then we're going to kind of follow that A. What we're really doing now is we're mimicking that A bar chord again. And so now we're going to use our ring finger to hit the 4th string 7th. Again, completing the A bar chord shape. And then we do that, the rest of our fingers can come off and just leave that note in isolation. So now we can hit the G string open next to it and complete that little section. Now we're going to go down and hit our A string open, but not for very long. It's just so that we can slide our ring finger up to the target of the 4th fret. And then we're going to allow our index finger to go up to the 3rd string 2nd for that A note. And then I'm going to roll off, and I'm going to just kind of roll off of that to an open G string after I hit that note. That's an open G ringing. So that section again is this. 4th string 7th, open G. Open A, sliding in with the ring finger to the 4th fret on the 5th. 3rd string 2nd. Rolling off to an open G. And I'm really hitting that last A note, giving it a lot. Rolling off that open, and I'm using my palm back here to kind of not let that last open G note ring too much, because it can really jump out as an open string. So here we go. Do it again. Now that second time you do it, don't roll off to the open G at the end. Let the last note be that 3rd string 2nd A note. All right. Now we're going to get into some 4-note craziness. This is all based off your 5th and 3rd string together. So it's going to look like a little weird when I first do it, but just think this is just 5th and 3rd string together. Let's learn that up the neck. Again, 5th and 3rd string working together. So these are 4, I'll call them 4 event sequences. Each of these, let's learn the positions real quick. Again, 5th and 3rd string. So I'm doing ring finger, 5th string 4th, 2 behind it on the G string 3rd on the 2nd. Now I'm going up here to position 2, which is middle finger on the 5th string 7th, 1 behind it on the 3rd string 6th, my index. Third position is going to be ring finger, fifth string 12th, a little bit of a stretch here, index finger, third string 9th. And then I'm going up to the final position, which is middle finger, fifth string 16th, and then 2 behind it, G string 14th with my index. All right, now that's the position. Now let's learn how to make it sound like the way we want. So I, again, am going to be using, I'll do it with a pick. I've been doing it up until now with my fingers, so this is what it sounds like with a pick. What I'm doing with the pick to make it mimic what I've been doing is I'm going down, and that last note on the G string, I'm up picking. 1, 2, 3, 4. His fourth note would be up on that last note on the G string on the pick, so it's da da da, fourth up. But what I'm doing is with my thumb and index finger, because I can get more pop out of it. That kind of thing. By the way, I love this shape. The fifth and third right here, I use it, I come from a blues rock background, and I use this a lot with blues, believe it or not. I mean, it's as twangy as can be, but let's say you're here in A, right, playing pentatonic. You can do what I'm showing you here. You can take that exact shape into the pentatonic. Use your index to bend that G string. Right? You can also take that shape, overshoot it, still fifth and third, exact same shape, take it up to seventh, and let's see, that'd be ninth and seventh, and then bring it back down to seventh and fifth. Again, I never changed the shape. I'm still using the fifth and third string for blues. Okay, little digression, little digress. I love that shape. So, let's get the 4 note sequences. Again, each of those positions I showed you, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 things happening. The first of the 4 are actual notes. And so I'm going with my thumb, I am hitting the open A string, and then I'm rolling the third into the fourth. That's middle to my ring finger, and then I've already kind of got my index on that third string second. So it's open A, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm down picking coming up if I'm doing with a pick. I probably wouldn't even roll my I would just do the shape and slide into it. When I do it with my thumb, I'm actually going open A, rolling into it, and using my index finger to really pop that A note. Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Position 2, right? Fifth string 7th, G string 6. Again, 5 and 3 strings. What I'm doing there is I'm doing still 4 things. The first 2 are dead notes, and then I'm starting, the last 2 will actually be 1, 2, 3, 4. First 2 being dead. Now we're going to go to position 3. So again, that was ring finger on the 5th string 12th and the G string, what is that, 9th, our stretch. Same thing as we just did. First 2 are dead, second 2 are like. And then we go up to the final position, which is going to be, you can use your ring finger on the 5th string, what is that, 16th, and then 2 behind it, G string 14th. Same thing, first 2 dead, second 2 live. You get to practice it until it sounds like that, but that is what I'm doing. All right, so work on that. Now, when we get up here, last thing we did was that high octave A note. That is index finger, 3rd string 14th. I'm going to allow my little finger to cover the top 2 on the 17th. I'm going to do that. So just hit that last note. Index or little finger goes very easily. Top 2 on the 17th. Pre-bend. Hit them together and then let it down on the second one. what I'm doing. Top 2 17th and then the top 2 on the 12th with my index. Little finger up here, pre-bend, index finger on the 12th, let it down, and then pick them together and take the bender back up. And this time end with that A note, so that's the 3rd string 14th with your ring finger. Whew, that's a fun one, and I hope you get a little bit of something extra out of this shape. I love that 5th and 3rd string pattern together. Play around with it, have some fun. I'll come back with one last little bit on some extra bendering right after this. All right, let's finish strong. One of the longest videos we have shot here in the bunker in quite a few years, but why not? It's our 4-year anniversary, so go big or go home. Wait, I am home. I need a different phrase. All right, once we did the crazy up and down the neck that we just learned, I went down, I switched over back to pick. It got real chicken pick and percussive in that opening, and just started doing this kind of idea down here around an open A. Let's just play around with those ideas before we get on out of here. Now, this is exactly the way we started this party, with that open A down here, top 3 strings only, and then that is my index finger on the 3rd string 2nd, right? And I'm going to pick this, and I'm going to be palm muting for a lot of up and down, more pressure, the more percussive I get, so listen for that. But I'm going to start there with that open A chord. Again, the top 2 strings are open. Going to down pick starting on the 3rd string, take the bender up. Hold there for a second. Then I'm going up to the high E 3rd, and then coming back to the 3rd string 2nd, and then open E, high E open. And then I'm sliding up to this position with the bender still engaged. So I just took the 3rd string with my middle finger up to the 6th, and then the high E on the 5th with my index. And then I dead pick the 3rd string, high E open, and then the B string open to let the bender down. And then back to where we started at 3rd string 2nd, A note. So that sequence again is... Do what we started with. Opening. And then hit the B string open, down, back up. So that second part of it. B string. Down and back up. Now leave that bender engaged the way it is. Pop up here and do high E and B string harmonics. Let your bender down. That's what you saw me do in the opening. So and then I did this as well, pre-bent, and I just did high E, B string pre-bent, let it down, high E, pre-bent, let it down. High E, B string open, down, do it twice, and then the bender's down, and I just... So I'm just taking that note I already have, 3rd string 2nd with my index, hitting it, rolling off to an open G string. Then I'm going 4th string 4th with my ring finger. And I'm going going back to the G string open. So, and then I've got my 4th string 4 still covered there. I'm going to pick that once, roll down to the 2nd with my index finger. I'm getting just one pick, but I'm rolling down with my index to 2nd, then off to an open D string. And then I'm picking, I believe, I haven't listened to it again, I probably should have, but the 5th string 2nd. Yeah, there was a note there with a little bit of a waggle, and then an open A. And that's how I played it in the opening. All right, we are done. That is all kinds of Bender Twang craziness to celebrate 4 years here at the Bender Bunker. I hope you enjoyed it. I probably won't see you again here on the channel until 2022. Enjoy your holiday season. Please stay safe out there. A lot of craziness going on all over the world. So worst case scenario, just stay home with your Bender and play it safe. And I appreciate all the support again, all of the donations, the thumbs up, everything I mentioned before. It's great to have this 4-year journey and have all the 2,100 plus subscribers. Again, greatly appreciated, never expected. So I will see you again real soon. And as I've done since the very first episode in 2017, we'll end as we always do. It is never too late to go on a bender. I certainly hope you do. I'll see you next year. Until then, keep it bent.